Yuma police are on the lookout tonight for a man who attempted to kidnap a 15-year-old girl yesterday. Luckily, she was able to get away. Just 200 yards behind us, NTSB is investigating the site. The plane and the truck are still there.
Out here at City Hall getting ready for the City Council meeting to begin. And what's on the agenda tonight? Well, crossing or stopping in a roadway. Senator John McCain discussed the importance of military in Arizona at MCAS Yuma today. A vehicle was heading southbound on the 3600 block of Avenue A when the driver lost control and crashed into this home. Field to Feast tour took a turn for the worst earlier today. With 52 passengers on board, the bus turned over just in these fields behind me. The 15-year-old girl was in the area on the way to pick up her younger sister from school when a man approached her and attempted to pull her into his vehicle. The girl got away, but so did the suspect. Now the residents in the area are on high alert. It's been a very controversial issue here in Arizona, and today they proposed 10 new laws, one being medical marijuana for those who suffer from PTSD.
Lange here out at Kiwanis Park, and as you can hear, the WTI training is underway. It's day 3. You still have plenty of time to come down. The fairgrounds are open until about 10 or 11 tonight.
And they actually have to run and crawl through the houses with all this gear.
I don't know how I'm doing this right now, but it is one of a kind experience down here in Yuma. Creatures of the wild.
2 years around the corner, people like to throw fireworks into the mix, but something as simple as this can be dangerous.
The suspect is said to have a red 2-door car with a black rear window cover. If you've seen this car, if you know anything about this, please call 78 Crime. It's day 1 of the air show. It's the Twilight Show tonight, so come on out. It's free admission. Sad day for MCAS Yuma. Captain Jose Negretti says a loss like this is like losing a family member. The whole air station is in mourning. A day after the runway tragedy, Marine Corps Air Station Yuma is in mourning after the loss of a family member.
It's times like this where we really come together as a family to take care of one another and take care of each other's families. As
Marines, they prepare for everything. Nothing could have prepared them for this.
You acquire an inherent risk. However, when tragedies like this happen, it's something that nobody's ever really ready for.
If something like this does occur on the flight line, there is protocol they follow.
The tower is typically the first one to see it because they're the ones controlling all aircraft coming in and out of that flight line.
The tower then contacts the Base Operations Center, where they follow a step-by-step checklist.
That'll include information such as the aircraft, the type of aircraft, if known, the status of the pilot, his call sign.
Then they begin notifying all involved parties.
EMT, our emergency personnel services, the air crash fire rescue services, flight surgeon.
The investigation is still ongoing.
Everybody working together to ensure that we have the safest operations possible. In the time that I've been here, this is the first tragedy of its kind since I have been here for about the last 8 months.
At this time, the name of the Marine still has not been released. Marine Corps officials are still working to contact the victim's family. Live in the studio, Molly Lange, News 11. Marine Corps Air Station Search and Rescue not only supports the Marine Corps forces, but also the safety of our community. If someone goes missing or if there is a person in distress, the SAR team is there.
Our priority here and our mission, number 1, is to support the Marine Corps and support all the training that comes around here. As a secondary mission, we've, for the last 57 years, we've worked with the local community and the Sheriff's Department around here.
They work to rescue people in the river, desert, and mountain ranges.
Very dark night operations with someone possibly that fell through a very deep crevasse or ravine where the only way to get to them is to rappel a corpsman outside from the helicopter while hovering over that person, and then having to pick the corpsman and the patient back up through this very narrow terrain and not swing them back into the wall.
SAR is the only agency that can rescue at night.
They're like, well, we got to wait until daylight because we can't do this at night. So the implications are someone could get really hurt.
This is what they're trained to do.
Train like we fight and fight like we train. So it's when we actually get a call, it's just business as usual.
Urquhart says that being in the community is very rewarding.
After everything's done and said, the paperwork's done, and we're just relaxing in the ready room, it's like, yeah, we saved that person's life. It does feel good.
You can see them in action this weekend at the Yuma Air Show, simulating a real live rescue. And if that's not enough excitement for you, they will also be giving a demonstration at night. Senator John McCain discussed the importance of military in Arizona at MCAS Yuma today.
Arizona Senator John McCain, Senator Jeff Flake, and other state representatives traveled to several Arizona bases to look at the challenges they are facing.
Been briefed on the F-35 and the rapid expansion that's going to take place here at MCAS Yuma.
McCain says because of the expansion, more of the Marine Corps will be stationed out of Yuma.
On both barracks and housing, and we intend to look at that very carefully.
McCain says this is all dependent on being able to get the financial support from Congress.
If sequestration resumes, then it's going to have a serious and damaging impact both here at MCAS and at the Yuma Proving Ground.
McCain says he, as well as the other representatives, will take what they learned in Yuma back to Washington.
Reporting at MCAS Yuma, I'm Molly Lange.
A traffic stop like no other. Tuesday evening, Yuma County Sheriff's Office got a call from a woman. She said a police officer pulled her over, but that he wasn't an officer at all. On the corner of Somerton Avenue and County 14th, the so-called fake cop turned on his sirens and lights and pulled her over. But when she rolled down her window, he just laughed, walked back to his car, and drove away. So what would you do if something like this happened to you?
It's a real touchy situation. It's very hard. I'm not going to say do not pull over. If you're close to a police station, pull over there. Ask to speak to a supervisor that way.
YCSO also has a tip if you feel something's not right.
Pull over in a well-lit area. Turn on your flashers, turn on a blinker to show that you are pulling over.
You can ask an officer for their identification. The badge number, employee number.
Officer Franklin says for one, it's illegal. And two, it's rare something like this happens. But it's something the police take seriously.
It bothers me because, like you said, we go through a lot of training. There's a lot involved in it. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with it, a lot of danger that comes with it.
Officers described the suspect vehicle as a late 1980s brown Honda.
I was impressed with her first time I saw her.
For Glenn and Arlene Jackman, it was love at first sight.
It really caught my eye.
And he looked so handsome in his uniform. I just fell in love with him.
After 61 years together, marriage is a blessing when you're married to your best friend.
The older we get, the closer we get.
Jackman says they've built their marriage on the foundation of Christ.
Being married's a full-time job.
Through their long-lasting love, they are an example for the whole family.
We've really tried to set a good example for them, but we make mistakes too.
To them, family is everything. They have 3 beautiful daughters, Glenda, Cindy, and Tracy.
Have awesome son-in-laws. We are so blessed.
A couple of the girls, when they first were married, and their husband wanted to do something, and they'd say, "But Dad said." And I told them, "Don't do that."
The Jackmans continue to fall in love with each other more and more every day.
She means everything to me. She is my partner, she's my helpmate, she's everything that you could ask for in a wife. We think about, you have to think when I'm 82 years old, and when you think, we know we got a lot more years behind us than we have in front of us. And so we have to think about what it would be like, and I can't imagine what it would be like to be alone.
He's my soulmate. I don't know what I'd do without him.
Every day they get to spend together is a gift. But what's their secret to a long-lasting love?
It's a lifetime project.
You quickly learn which button not to push. Divorce was just not in our vocabulary. Like him, I just would not like to do without him. There's no problem too big that cannot be resolved, when you both try.